Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up from Ohio, and I am here to bring you a fun fold card today. But before we do that, I am going to tell you that just in a couple weeks we have our new catalog that will be coming live. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, please contact me so that I can get one in your hands, because I think you would love it. It's a nice catalog, and I do have mine. That's a perk of being a demonstrator. We get our catalogs early, like a month early. We can order, and we have a pre-order we can do and get things in. Mine will be in tomorrow, which I cannot wait. And but I do have my catalog, and my catalogs are in to give out and stuff. So it would be really great to have people to give them to, you know, new people and things like that. So just be sure, if you don't have a demonstrator, because I surely don't want to take you from the demonstrator that you already have. But if you don't have one and you would like a catalog and you love to stamp, I would love to be able to get my little store into your hands. Let's see. I don't have too many more announcements. It is our last chance sale is going on for the last chance products. You can go to my online store and see that. We have a lot of discontinued items going out of the catalog. Some of them are on sale and some of them are not. The best thing to do is go and look at that last chance list and be able to look at that and see. I will tell you that in the new catalog we have some items that'll be going up, and it's just some essential items that you use, which is cardstock, inks, ink refills, Stampin' Blends, I believe, is on it, and the Stampin' Seal refills, I think, is on it. Different things like that. So if you use a lot of any of that stuff, you will like to get that and pay a cheaper price before it goes up on April 4th. I got to, I just noticed I did not refresh my computer so that I'll be seeing what I'm doing when I turn my camera around. There we go. Nah, that's not it. I don't think. Yeah, it is. There we go. I got it. So anyway, I am going to turn the camera down, and what you will see is the front of my new catalog when I turn it down, because I would like to show you what the front looks like. And here, well, and I'm sure some of you have seen that already on other videos that you watch, and that's fine too. But anyway, I'm going to show mine today. So let's turn this camera down so that you can see, and then we will get started on our card. Forgot what I was going to say. Here we go. Watch my hand, it gets in the way. If you get dizzy, make sure that you close your eyes. I would like for you, if you would though, go ahead and share this video and give me a thumbs up if you would. That would be great. My hand looked like a spider there. I'm going to plug my phone in also, because we don't want to lose anything while we're here. That wouldn't be good. Okay, here is the catalog. I cannot show you the back, the inside, but I can show you the back. But these are some new colors that we are getting in. That is Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, Moody Mauve, and I think that's the returning color of Berry Burst. That looks like the returning color of Lost Lagoon, and I think that might be returning color of Blueberry Bushel. It's what it looks like to me. Don't hold me to it, but that's what it looks like. So anyway, that is the front of our catalog. The back is very pretty too. These are die cut or punched flowers. They're all paper flowers that is made, and a lot of our colors. Isn't that pretty, the back of it? So just be sure and let me know if you need a catalog, because I would love to be able to send it to you. Okay, for what we're going to do, you have probably seen it before, is a bookbinding card. Now in the basic way we do that is a 4 1/4 by 11" sheet of cardstock, fold it in half, and then make the little binding, fold it back. I'm using 8.5 by 5.5, so it's going to be a little bit smaller on its the cut of the layering process, because it's going to be smaller areas. So let me show you the two cards I made. Here's one that's portrait, and you flip it up and you just have this space right here. So that is one way that it is done. And then we have your landscape way. And with that, it just comes up like this, and you can use it landscape. And if you need my information, here is my host code for April. So if you want to place an order at my online store, which is right here, which is ritahomes.stampinup.net, I would love for you to use the host code. And if you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up and you've just thinking about it, but you're on the fence about it and stuff, I would love to talk to you about it. It's a great opportunity for you to get your stuff at a discount, or, you know, if you want to do a business, you could save a little money for, set you a goal to whatever you would like to do with it. Meet new friends. There's all kinds of things that is just a good value to joining Stampin' Up. And I would love for you to join my team. It's a small team, but I want to grow it to where we can have lots and have a lot of fun. So that's my spiel about that. Also on this card, because I cut the paper, this one, when I cut it, I didn't cut it to be able to have enough to do the envelope. But I'm going to show you how to cut it, and it gives you enough that you can decorate the back of the envelope. And so this is one complete set of 6x6 DSP. This one had a piece left over because I cut it 5 1/4, which is what this is. So it didn't have enough to do my envelope. So when I go to cut it on here, I'm going to cut it the way that we are going to be able to do an envelope, okay? So we will get started on that. So I think I'm going to do, and I also have my PDF on my Facebook page, Stamp Crazy VIP is the name of the group over there, and you can go snag it out of the files. This is shows the landscape, the portrait way, but the papers are cut the exact same way, and all you have to do is take your card and just flip it this way. But if it was this way, everything is cut just the same, okay? So I'll let you know what I'm using in it as we go. So let's just move this stuff out of the way. Maybe. And there's my information. If you need it, we'll tuck it right there. And then what we are going to use, we're going to use a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, basic white thick cardstock for our card, and we will be scoring it. I did not score it yet because I wanted to score it with you. So what you're going to do is put it in your paper trimmer. You're going to score it 3 inches. And then at 4 1/4. So I'm going to move that to 4 1/4 and score again. I'm going to go ahead and do that on this sheet of paper too. We're going to go 3 inches. And 4 1/4. Okay, we've got those scored. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our DSP. And if I make both cards, we're going to use one out of this paper, one out of this paper. And this comes from the Fancy Flora. Whoops, I'm dropping something here. Let me catch it. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's the Fancy Flora paper, which will be discontinued. It will not be in the new catalog. And it is very pretty paper. It looks like it's been, looks like acrylic paints, you know, just done some abstract drawing on there. So that is what I used. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my paper this way. And I'm going to cut the first piece at 2 3/4. That ain't 2, that's 1 3/4. I'm going to do 2 3/4. What was I thinking? 2 3/4. And then I'm going to do it at 1 inch. Now, do I want my 1 inch here, or do I want to turn it around and get more color? I think I'm going to turn it and get a little bit of different color in it too. So that's at 1 inch. And there we go with that. I could have cut both pieces at the same time if I would have been thinking about that, but I was not. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one at 2 3/4. And then again at 1 inch. And that's all the cutting we need to do right now. So I have this piece and this piece left to do envelopes. Okay? So, and I brought envelopes. I don't know where I set them though. I have to find them, because we very well may be able to handle that. Okay, let's get this out of the way. We don't need it. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to make this one first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my scrap piece of paper. I'm going to look at the colors that are on here. I am going to stamp my saying, and I'm going to do the birthday saying again. It says, "I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration," which means I'm late in getting my card to you, which is generally me a lot of times, because I'll be very honest, sometimes I just don't even send cards. I'm so bad about that. I make cards all the time. I love making them, but I forget to send them. So, and that is why I have a booth at one of our little farm markets, because that's where I put all my cards. Okay, I'm going to ink this up in Calypso Coral because that's the color in here. So I think I'm going to use it. And no, I don't think I'm going to use that. That was a mistake. I'm going to use that for my little flower. So let me go ahead and get the little flower out, which comes from the Two-Tone Flora set. And it's this flower right here. I'm going to get that out. I'm going to do that in the Calypso Coral. So let's just ink that up. I'll just put it right over here. So I have it already stamped and ready to go. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Soft Succulent, because that is in my papers right here. And I'm going to do my wording in Soft Succulent. I got ink on the side, so let's hope that I don't get it all over the place. Set that down. And I did not. I did pretty good. Always scares me, because if I get ink on the outside of the rubber, a lot of times I get it on my cards. So I have to be careful. Or at least be careful stamping if I do that, right? We don't want to make a mess. Okay, let's get the ink pads out of our way because we don't want to mess that up either. I am going to bring in my embossing machine, my little embossing machine, and we are going to do some die cutting, and we'll do all that just real quick together. So what I'm going to do is, you see I have a little border on here, and this little border comes from the hand pinned stamp set, which is going out, unfortunately, but I'm going to use it nevertheless because it's still current right now. So I hope one of the die sets has one of these that will be current. Okay, I put that on there. That's going to hold it down. Let's put our plates on there, and I'm going to put my white plate, which is the number 1. I'm going to put one of my number 2s, but I'm going to leave a little room. It's back about 1/4 of an inch or so. I'm going to lay that down. I'll put this here, and then I'm going to bring in my little flower die, which comes from the two-tone Flora dies that matches the stamp set. I'm going to bring that in. And then from the Something Fancy set, which is the one I got the saying out of, which is this right here, I'm going to use the Something Fancy dies, and I'm going to use this middle tag right here. And I'm going to put that on for my words. Then what I'll do is I'll bring in my next plate, my other number 2, and I'm going to line that up. Now it's a little bit forward like the white one, and what this does is eases that start to go through the machine. And my machine is squeaking today. It wants to squeak, which that's okay with me. Let it squeak. So now let's put all of this away. I always put them back on my magnet sheets if I can, because I have been known to misplace these if I don't. And then I'm always wondering, where in the heck does it go? So we just went ahead and did that. I'm going to pop this out. That's our little border. Let's move all of this. And that's our pieces. So now let's put our card together just real quick. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to, oh, I know what, I forgot to cut something. Thought I was done, but I am not. So I'm going to put these 2 pieces together. I cut them, I left that 6 by 6, but I need these pieces to be 5 1/4. But I didn't cut that 5 1/4 first because I wanted to have enough for my envelope. So we're just cutting these little pieces off. So I did that one. Now let's do these 2. Just forgot about that. That's why I usually cut 5 1/4 first, because I don't want to forget, but if I want to do my envelope, I can't do it that way. So, you know, when you have to go out of your routine, then you forget stuff. And I was just the basic example of that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put a layer of glue right around the edge, one of the long edges. Then I'm going to line up my border right with the edge of the paper. I'll press it down. I want it to all be stuck. Isn't that pretty on the other side, the gray and the yellow? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to snip that off the end. We don't need it. So I have that piece of paper ready to go. Let's take one of the cards and we're going to fold it. So what I'm going to do is fold it at the 4 1/4 mark. I'm going to fold that over. And I'm going to score that. Because I just want that to be scored good. And then I'm going to take it on the 3 1/2 mark, or the 3-inch mark. And I'm going to fold that back. So at the 4, I did a mountain fold, and at the 4 1/4 a mountain fold, and at the 3 is a valley fold. So this is the mountain. We're coming over the mountain. We've gone into the valley. Okay, and that's how we do that. So now it's time to put our colors on. So, and I score it because I really want to see where the lines are so I can put this on. So let's put some glue on the back. Because we want to glue that down. We'll take and stick it on here. And then we will put glue on side. We'll put some glue over here and put that on. And then what I'm going to do before I close it up and put my other stuff on, I'm going to add some ribbon. And I think I will be adding, let's do this petal pink on that. I think that'll be pretty with this flower. This is also going to be going out of the catalog, so I'm trying to use some of this up. Best thing that you can do with your stuff is use it up if you have to. So let's just cut that, bring this over, and I am just going to tie a knot. I'm not doing anything fancy, just a knot. So I'm going to try to hold that with my finger a little bit so it doesn't get loose on me, but you can fix that. So if it does happen to get a little loose, I'll show you how to do that. If it doesn't, I will tell you how to do that. I hope it did fine. If that would have gotten loose, what I would have done in here is I would have cut it and then glued that down, because it's not going to show anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to cut my ends of my ribbon. I got that one shorter, so let's match it up. I always cut one shorter than the other and then have to go back and fix it. Okay, we have that done. So now we are going to, put glue in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I put glue on the ribbon too, so that holds it down. And then we're going to just fold our card back over on the 4 1/4 inch, and we're going to press really good and make sure we get that sealed good. So let's let that dry a minute. While we're doing that, we're going to take and we're going to put our saying on, and I'm going to put it about right here, I think. And I'm going to use some dimensionals. And this is just some old ends that I had. And I'm trying to use all of this up. Always use your scrap. Don't throw it away. I take my scissors and just go around the edges once it's empty and cut the pieces and use them that way. So there we go. We're going to put this on. So let's go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flowers, and on this one that is up higher than the rest, I'm going to take a piece of my dimensional. I'm going to put one little piece up on that high flower. And then I'm going to take glue and put it directly across. I'm just going to add a little bit, enough to hold it onto the thing, and I'm going to add that right here. Push down, and that will hold the flower up to the same height as the layer there. And now we're going to take and put some pearls. These are the iridescent pearls, and they're staying in the catalog, but I'm going to use some of these up that I have because I have an overabundance. And what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to just put these on the flowers. These are going to be my flower centers. Need to get one more out so I can finally throw that piece of paper away. Oh, my dog's barking. Somebody's here. There we go. Now, one last thing I want to do, and I left my flower stamp out. Let's take my Calypso Coral again. We're going to open up our card, and I'm going to stamp a flower on the inside. So there we go. And that card is done. Easy, easy, isn't it? Clean my stamp. And here's our two-tone flowers that I used. So now we are going to use the other card. We're going to do it real quick. And that way you get to see them both done. I'm going to do the envelope if I can find them. I thought I set them over here. And I did. They're right here. So what I do for the envelope, and this is the pattern that goes with this, I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to go around the envelope, making sure I get these edges up here, right there. And I'm going to line this up. I think I'll do it this way. I'm going to line this up, making sure I have edges on both sides. And I'm not going to go over the score line of the envelope. I'm just going to go up to it so that when I fold that, it doesn't show on the other side. And then what you do, after you do that, I'm going to cut this off. And you'll see there's not much left of that 6x6 piece of DSP. So this is a great way if you have a lot of paper, especially to decorate envelopes. You could sit all day and just decorate envelopes with DSP, because you could use this like with all kinds of stamps. It says use the colors that's in your DSP. And you got it made. Kind of coordinate it. So there's my envelope. And here's my card that goes with it. Isn't that cute? So we got that done. And this is all that's left of a piece of 6x6 paper. I thought that was pretty good. So now we are going to bring in this piece, and I'm going to make this card just a little bit different. I am going to stamp. I'm going to need my scrap paper here. I am going to take and I'm going to stamp just one flower, and it's going to be a bigger one. So let's do that. Let's see what the paper is. Oh, let's see what colors I have pulled out here and see if we can come up with something. I have the Calypso Coral, which is what I'll probably use. Oh, no, I think I'm going to use the Orchid Oasis because it's right in here. And I think that's what I'm going to use because I like doing this flower in Orchid Oasis myself. So I'm just going to add this flower. Let me clean this off a little bit. And actually, I know which way my card is going to go. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp it. It's going to be on this one. Right? I'm going to fold it just to see. Okay, we got that. And that's the front. This is the front. So, and this comes back. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it on this side to be sure. Just to be sure, let's stamp over here. It's always nice to be sure of what you're doing, especially when you're stamping flowers. Now, what I'm going to do with this big flower, I think it goes like that. I'm going to ink it. I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to stamp it. So there's one. And then I'm going to do this one the same way. I'm going to ink it and I'm going to stamp off. And there we go. So we have our flowers stamped. So that is good. We're done with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out our die cut machine. We don't need this anymore, I do not think. Let's bring the die cut machine back in. We're going to bring that little border back in, and I'm going to add that to my card. Let me move that up so you can see. And I'm just going to take that and stick that down at the edge. And then I'm going to bring in one more die from the Something Fancy set, which is this right here. And I'm going to die cut it, and I think I'll put it right there. And that way I have room for everything. And all I got to do is get out this flower die. And we are good to go. And I believe it is this one right here. Better put my plates down, don't you think? I forgot I took them off of there when I laid it to the side, so I'm probably going to have to redo my flour. But that's okay. It doesn't take but a second. So let's put that in there, put that there. That way it gives me a scrap piece left for something else later. Okay, we got it going in, so there we go. So that is everything cut. And I just dropped my die. I'm glad he stayed close. So let's just go ahead and stick all these dies here. I'm really going to miss this little die. And then we have our little banner for our saying in there. And I have a piece left that I can use later. Okay, let's put these together and we will be good. So we're going to put this on our front. I think I want it like that. So let's just add some, whoops, I forgot to put my banner on there to cut it. This is going to be good. But since I put my glue on it, I'm going to go ahead and put it down. I'm going to bring my banner in. And what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to hold it, because we don't have to worry about it really being a messed up job. I'm going to hold that real quick. And I'm going to bring in a pencil. And I'm going to mark that right there. And I'm going to cut that off real quick, and then I'll put that on. Let's see if that works. We hope so. You know, I've always said when I taught classes, when I did in-person classes, I always said there's never a mistake in stamping. It's always an embellishment opportunity. And that was just a hair short. So let's just do that. Is it gonna stay down there? Yeah. So there we go, not bad. Then we're gonna put this on. Okay, and then we're gonna put some ribbon on. And I think we'll do the, I want to do soft succulent on it. No, I think I want to do the fresh freeze. I don't want to do fresh freesia on it. Let's do soft succulent maybe. No, actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do my pink again. I do think that I'll like that the best. And I do. I do. I like the pink. What do you think? I hope you like it too. So I showed you how to fix the mistake. That's what I get when I hurry all the time, is mistakes. But that's okay. It's okay. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and hold that down again, and I'm just going to tie a knot. A bow would be nice. The only thing about a bow is I think it takes away from your focal point. So, and I want my focal point to be my flower when we get it on there. So there we go. Now let's trim this up. Here's our bow, or our knot, whatever you want to call it. So now we're going to just go ahead and add some glue. And you want to make sure that you add enough that it's going to close that up good. And then I'll put a little bit on my ribbon, because it'll hold that ribbon down onto the card base. So let's fold that. And I tell you what, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use my tool and rub that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stamp right here, and I'm going to use the Night of Navy that is in there, and I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday from the Something Fancy set. I didn't want to get a bunch of different sets out here going. I just wanted to use the two because the one doesn't have any sayings in it, so it's kind of hard to use it. And what did I just do with my banner? There it is. So let's ink that. Make sure I get it all inked. And I'm just going to sit it on this banner. And I'm rocking it a little bit for these little letters, because I made sure I didn't have anything on the edges before I stamped. And if you got ink on your edges, do not rock like that, because you won't get a nice outcome. And you want your outcome to be nice. Okay, so let's just put this together just really, really quick. Well, that didn't stick, did it? I guess I better stick it down. It's because of that knot, I couldn't get that to press really good. There we go. Now we're going to take our flower and we're going to put some dimensionals on here, because we want that to hold up. And I think I'm going to lay it right here. Right here. And I'm going to take my Happy Birthday, and it is just going to be right under it. And I think I'm going to just glue that down. I could glue it over my flower a little bit, but I think I want to just glue it on the card front. So let's just add some glue. You don't have to do a lot to decorate these cards with that paper. The paper says a lot. So let's glue that down. We're going to take our pearls, open them up one more time, and we're going to add some pearls to this. And I think I'm going to use the bigger ones this time. So let's put one up here, put one over here, and maybe right here. And there we go. We have our pearls on our card. Can you see that? And that is our card. And then you just open it. Oh, I forgot to bend that back, didn't I? Let's crease that back. There we go. So that gives you a place to write your little message or whatever, stamp another saying in it. And then here is the landscape one. If I can get it open. And there we go. We can do it either way. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 3 and 4 1/4. And then that's a 1 1/4 inch strip that's in between your two score lines, and you want to glue that down so that you have like a book binding. And then you just decorate. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. This is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And then the decorations, just whatever, or the stamping, embellishments and all that stuff is just whatever you want to use. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with another one soon. Have a great day. Bye.